On the morning of February 18, 2003, the bustling city of Daegu, South Korea, was gripped by a disaster that would forever alter its subway system and leave the nation in mourning. At approximately 9:53 a.m., as commuters packed Line 1 of the Daegu Metropolitan Subway, an act of arson set off a chain of events that resulted in one of the deadliest subway fires in history. A 56-year-old man, Kim Dae-han, boarded train 179 carrying a milk carton filled with flammable liquid. Suffering from mental illness and reportedly upset with his own life, he set the carton on fire using a cigarette lighter as the train approached Yeongnam Station in downtown Daegu. Within moments, the fire engulfed the carriage, sending flames and thick black smoke through the subway tunnels.
The fire quickly consumed train 1079, melting plastic interiors and releasing toxic gases. At the same time, train 1080 arrived at the station unaware of the danger ahead. Smoke poured into the station, reducing visibility to near zero and creating panic among passengers and subway staff. The situation worsened when the automatic fire suppression systems failed to activate and emergency protocols proved ineffective. Miscommunication led the operator of train 1080 to lock its doors, trapping passengers inside the carriages as flames and smoke spread. Those unable to escape suffocated from carbon monoxide poisoning, the thick smoke cutting off any chance of survival. In total, 192 people lost their lives and 151 others were injured. The sheer scale of the tragedy left families and communities in shock as rescue workers faced harrowing scenes underground.
The investigation into the Daegu subway fire revealed systemic failures in safety measures and emergency response protocols. Key findings included lack of fire suppression systems. Despite being a modern subway, Yeongnam Station lacked adequate fire extinguishers, sprinklers, and ventilation systems capable of handling a large-scale fire. Inadequate emergency training. Subway staff were unprepared for such an emergency, resulting in delays and confusion that costs lives. Flammable materials. The interior of the subway cars was made of highly flammable materials that accelerated the spread of the fire and produced toxic fumes. Operational missteps. The decision to lock the doors of train 180, intended to prevent passengers from running into harm's way, tragically sealed their fate. Additionally, arsonist Kim Dae-han, who suffered severe burns, was apprehended and later sentenced to life imprisonment. His mental state and motives became a point of national debate, but the focus soon shifted to how the disaster could have been prevented.
The Daegu subway fire became a turning point for public safety in South Korea. In the aftermath of the tragedy, the government implemented sweeping reforms to enhance safety in public transit systems, including fire-resistant materials. Subway cars were retrofitted with non-flammable materials to reduce the risk of fire spreading. Upgraded fire suppression systems. Stations were equipped with advanced sprinkler systems, smoke detectors, and ventilation systems to handle emergencies. Emergency protocols and training. Comprehensive training programs for subway staff and public awareness campaigns were introduced to ensure faster and more effective responses to emergencies. Real-time communication systems were installed to prevent the mismanagement of crisis situations. These reforms not only improved safety within South Korea, but also set an example for subway systems worldwide, emphasizing the importance of preparedness and proactive safety measures.
The tragedy of the Daegu subway fire left an indelible mark on South Korea. Memorial services were held to honor the victims, and a monument was erected at Yungangno Station as a place of remembrance. Survivors and families of the deceased continue to advocate for safety and vigilance, ensuring that the lessons of the disaster are not forgotten. For many, the disaster is a haunting reminder of the cost of neglecting safety and the need to prioritize human lives over efficiency and convenience.
The Daegu subway fire stands as both a tragedy and a lesson in resilience. It exposed vulnerabilities in public infrastructure and underscored the importance of accountability and reform. The disaster reshaped South Korea's approach to public safety, transforming its transit systems into some of the safest in the world. While the lives lost that day can never be replaced, the changes inspired by the tragedy serve as a lasting legacy, ensuring that such a disaster will not happen again.
The Daegu subway fire was more than a devastating accident. It was a catalyst for change. It demonstrated the need for vigilance, preparation, and the relentless pursuit of safety in public spaces. As cities around the world continue to grow, the lessons from Daegu remain a vital reminder of the responsibilities we bear in protecting those who trust in our infrastructure.